Good evening, councillors. I call the meeting to order. Just to affirm the emergency procedures, should there be an emergency called, please use the emergency doors at the side of the hall or use the front door to exit. As soon as you exit, make your way immediately to the far side of the car park so as not to impede people who are behind you exiting the building. Okay? On a sad note, it's been reported Mrs. Margaret Walsh has died recently. A long-term councillor and Mayor of Downham Market. Indeed, she was the first Lady Mayor to be elected as Mayor in her own right. So can I ask councillors to stand in silence for a few moments as a sign of our respect for our deceased colleague. Thank you very much, councillors. We'll move on then to item 1, to receive apologies for absence.
Good evening, Mr Mayor. We have apologies from Councillor Brewer due to ill health, Councillor Jordan due to work commitments, Councillor B Moises due to work commitments, Councillor S Moises due to work commitments, Councillor C Pyatt due to personal commitments, and Councillor Westrop due to personal commitments. It's also noted that 3 councillors have resigned this week, namely Councillor Ali Buxton, Councillor Anna Inkovaya and Councillor Eve Torfik.
Item 2, to receive members' declaration of interest. Anyone like to declare any interest? Item 3, public participation. 15 minutes allowed. Any members of the public wish to speak? Item 4, to approve the minutes of the previous meeting of the full council held on the 19th of March 2024. I've got a proposer for that. Seconder? All those in favour?
And Councillor Pyatt?
I haven't seen them, so I have to abstain.
Item 5, to receive recommendations from the Property Committee and agree action. That Downham Market investigates the sale of the land and building known as Paradise Garage, Paradise Road, Downham Market, Norfolk, to the current leaseholder.
Do you want to invite the leaseholder to speak?
Want number 6?
No, do you want to invite the leaseholder to speak?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Is the leaseholder here?
Yes, we
Would you
are.
like to speak?
Just say a few words if we could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
If you just don't mind standing there, and then you can be seen on camera and address council. Thank you.
Good evening, councillors, ladies and gentlemen. For those who don't know me, I'm Michael Ford, one of the directors of Paradise Garage next door. You may or may not be aware that we put considerable investment into the garage. Namely, we've had a new roof fitted recently. We've had an EV charging point put in. The whole reception area was revamped in the wake of COVID to give everyone more space, an area to work in. We want to keep doing that, but to do that, we need the confidence of ownership of the building itself. We'd feel a lot happier if the money that we're investing into that is invested for good, or we will be invested for good reason, but it will give us the confidence to keep on these progression of the garage. The motor industry doesn't stand still, and we've got to keep going with it. And we just feel if we own the actual site, it will give us that security to continue what we're doing. We put it to you that we'd like you to offer it to us for sale.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, councillors, this is at the moment a request for guidance on whether you wish for myself and the Deputy Clerk to investigate the sale of this. The premises will need a valuation done. Torn Landlords, who are the people that have done the valuations previously, have offered the cheapest quote for valuation, and that's $1,500 plus VAT. And then if you are minded to go down that path, then obviously once we've got the valuation in, then I would ask that you let myself and the Deputy Clerk speak with the leaseholder, look to come back with a figure, and then present it to council for a final decision.
Anyone want to propose that?
I'll propose that.
Thank you.
Seconder?
Thank you, Councillor Sean.
All those in favour?
Councillor Perkin? No?
Against.
Against. So 1 against, yeah. Thank you. So, Mr. Ford, I'll be in contact with you tomorrow and then we can progress that. All right, thank you.
Move on to item 6. To consider offers received in connection with the sale of Town Council offices, 15 Paradise Road, and agree actions.
So, councillors, you have received offer A and offer B. They are both for the same value. They are both cash offers, and they both have provided proof of funds. So they are of similar in financial value. I have given you some guidance regarding obviously the pros and cons regarding whether you wish to go with A or B. B already has a relationship with this area, and therefore potentially could be limited if you went with option A, but obviously option A is another business to the town. So obviously I'll have to remain the confidentiality, so you've seen the emails, you know what I'm talking about, but I would like guidance on whether you would like to accept offer A, offer B, or reject both, and then wait for another offer or to negotiate with either party.
If we went with offer A, I think the council would have to make sure that we kept ownership of that 10-foot driveway to stop any other access problems.
Yeah, I've spoken to our conveyancing solicitor, and that would be part of the agreement.
If we went with option B, that wouldn't be a problem.
That's correct.
That's it.
Potentially, depends on what you would do after the investigation stage.
Well,
So-
I think if we were selling it, it would sell the whole patch, to be honest with you.
That depends what the valuations come
Yeah,
out at. I would suggest to council.
Personally.
But if you go with option A, you have to make sure you...
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, I understand that. But if it wasn't a complete thing,
Yeah.
then there's no point in us having a little road, just
No, but you wouldn't need to if you went with option B.
if it was, you know, the other option. All right, what do you think?
It's up to council what they want to.
Anybody want to speak on that?
I would say that the offers that you've had are fair offers, considering the price that it was put up for sale for.
I can't really hear you, sorry. Can you
Right, I would say that the offers that have been received are fair offers,
Yes.
considering the amount of money that it was put up for sale for.
Any other councillors wish to speak?
Do we have to take into account what we would do with the money if we sold?
It would go into a hypothecated account, so a ring-fenced account, which would only be able to be used on capital expenditure. So you could either purchase another building with it, you could change a building and update it with that money, you could invest in a sports area, as an example, but you couldn't use it for day-to-day running costs or salaries, etc.
Or to reduce the precept.
No, you can't reduce the precept from it, no.
Am I right in thinking if you put it in a high interest account, you can use the interest?
You can use the interest for day-to-day running costs, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right, just the capital can't be. Has to go onto capital expenditure.
Fine. Do you want to propose it?
Well, I propose option B, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it would be easier for us in the long run.
Absolutely, I think so.
I'll second that.
All those in favour of option B?
That's all, thank you.
Right. Move on to item 7. To receive a copy of the contract from ASBAG relating to the completing of the work of the neighbourhood plan and agree action.
So at a previous meeting, Council, you gave me the go-ahead to speak to the current consultant regarding getting a contract to finish the neighbourhood plan at a fixed fee. You have all seen the contract which we came back with. Unfortunately, yes, it does state a fixed fee, but it leaves it open to a lot of expenses. And although it gets you to the submission to the Borough Council, what it doesn't then do is, if that's rejected, it doesn't take into account how we deal with the rejection. And the previous Chair of Governance, who's now resigned, had provided guidance that she wasn't happy with the Council signing the contract. Now, obviously, if we don't sign the contract, then we can't go ahead with the neighbourhood plan because, as I'd advised, we'd already contacted 4 different consultants and they all said because we'd already started it and we were part way through, they wouldn't take on somebody else's work. So I'm looking for guidance on whether you are happy with the contract and you would like me to sign it, or whether you are happy for us to end the neighbourhood plan because of obviously the contract that we've been offered. I have spoken to the contractor, and they will not negotiate. That is their set contract.
I've read the contract because I was involved with neighbourhood plan. Personally, if I had somebody come round and do a job, I would not issue an open cheque, which is basically what they're asking for. So
It seems to me, how much are we going to get out of it in the long run, and how much is we got to pay for it? You know, personally, I think we should bid it.
Yeah.
I don't think that we could find ourselves in a position because we do not know what forward legislation's going to do.
That's correct. That's correct.
So I say, as far as I see, that we drop the thing and forget about it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Any others want to speak?
Yeah, I just felt we're 90% of the way there. There may be additional costs, but they're not going to be huge. We've got so far with this. The neighbourhood plan's been dragging on for so many years. I remember being involved with it pretty much from the start, and we were let down by consultants back then. It didn't seem to be progressing, and now we've got to a point where we could actually put it to bed. There may be perhaps an additional, I don't know, if it's 10% more at the end, if the borough doesn't accept it. But they may well do.
How much would we get from 10%? You know, I mean, and it's an enormous lot of money for us to pay out. But it's only my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know what the consultant would charge for that final step. Perhaps we can ask them for a figure. Should that eventuality come about.
It's an enormous amount of money.
I've much as what Councillor Hobbs has said, it would be great to go ahead with the neighbourhood plan, but no one wants to have this. It could be any amount from £10 to 10,000.
Absolutely.
As a council, we can't afford to do that. So unfortunately, I would suggest that we drop it. And I'm one of the people who used to go on about 25% being given to us. So sorry to say that, but I think we've got to let it go.
Anybody else want to speak? Can I have a proposal then?
Councillor Levers?
Yeah, I propose that we drop it.
Don't continue with the
Yeah,
neighbourhood
thank
plan.
you.
Yeah.
No longer proceed.
Okay. Councillor Lane seconding.
All those in favour?
And Councillor Hobbs?
Can I abstain on that one?
Of course you can. Thank you, Council.
Thank you. Item 8, councillors' questions. Any questions? Good. I intend to submit items for the next agenda. I intend to confirm the date of the next 2 meetings. Annual Town Council meeting, including the mayor making, Tuesday the 7th of May.
So that will be back in the Town Hall. We're only here because the elections were happening over in the Town Hall.
And on the 14th of May, the full council.
And again, that will be in the Town Hall. at 7 p.m.
Well, there being no further business, I'll close the meeting. Thank you very much
Thank you.
for coming.